Good morning. I'm Ron Claiborne at ABC News World Headquarters in New York. This is an ABC News digital report. Developing now the Ebola emergency and a scare this morning in New Jersey where tighter quarantine rules are now in effect. A healthcare worker who arrived in New Jersey from Sierra Leone, where she was working with Doctors Without Borders, developed a fever while under the mandatory quarantine. This morning we learned that she tested negative for the virus. Meanwhile, hazmat crews have been brought in to decontaminate the New York City apartment that is home to the doctor who caught the deadly disease. ABC's Lindsay Davis has all of the new developments from University Hospital in Newark, New Jersey. Good morning, Lindsay.
Hey, Ron, a sigh of relief in New Jersey. That healthcare worker who'd been quarantined since her return from treating patients in West Africa yesterday, while she is sick with something, she does not have Ebola. This morning, the healthcare worker put into isolation at this hospital testing negative for Ebola. The worker, with ties to Doctors Without Borders, was quarantined for about 12 hours after returning from Western Africa. She did develop a fever while in isolation, according to officials. Governor Chris Christie announced the healthcare worker would be the first to be placed into quarantine Friday evening under the stricter new policies for healthcare workers returning from the Ebola hot zone in West Africa, despite showing no symptoms of the virus when her plane was isolated at Newark's Liberty Airport.
New Jersey and New York are going to determine the standards of quarantine since CDC's guidance is continually changing.
New Jersey and New York now overriding the CDC, enforcing a mandatory quarantine for any individual who had direct contact with someone infected.
A lot of people panicking around here now since it's coming closer to home.
The new guidelines set in place after Dr. Craig Spencer returned to New York, traveling freely in the city for 6 days before being diagnosed with Ebola Thursday night. Biorecovery workers can be seen here as they prepare to decontaminate Spencer's apartment on Friday as officials traced his every move. Tuesday, Spencer visited the meatball shop, then the Highline Park and a coffee shop. The next day, taking a train to this Brooklyn bowling alley. Then rushing to the hospital in the morning after waking with a 100.3-degree fever. Spencer, along with his fiancée and 2 friends, each remain under quarantine as New York's mayor calls for calm.
There's no reason for New Yorkers to change their daily routine in any way.
So this new policy in New York and New Jersey, some are finding it a bit controversial. It's far stricter than any of the federal requirements. It allows these states essentially to make quarantine mandatory for 21 days for anyone returning from the affected countries. Ron.
Okay, thanks very much, Lindsay. Lindsay Davis reporting from outside of University Hospital in Newark, New Jersey. Thanks for that report. And be sure to stay tuned to abcnews.com throughout the day for the latest on this and other top stories. Thank you for watching this ABC News digital report. I'm Ron Claiborne. Enjoy your day.